What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today is Thursday, March 6th, and we are on the way to go get Stacy from tennis practice. And I was having a little bit of trouble turning on the camera today, to be honest. I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk with you guys about, but I prayed, right, as I regularly do. And I kept hearing a voice say, okay, you're either going to talk about character or you're going to talk about, I can't even think about anything else. So I guess we're going to talk about character. Yesterday I did kind of a mini vlog on the content of a person's character, that your character can be something that we notice in other people, or something that we look at within ourselves. But just to encourage you guys, if you are struggling in your relationships with other people, like you find people in your life who you admire or you look up to, you feel like, man, this is a genuinely good person, why don't they want to spend time with me? Sometimes you just might not be aligned. Everyone isn't going to like you. And then sometimes we're doing things we're doing things that keep us from being in relationships with emotionally healthy, spiritually healthy people, because we're all like magnets, right? Like attracts like. So if you find that you're attracting toxic people, you want to look at what you're feeding your mind, right? What seeds you're putting into your mind that are attracting toxic people into your circle. And one of the easiest ways to tell that, we've talked about this before, is taking a look at the music and the media that you're consuming, and then to take a look at your self-talk, what you let come out of your mouth. They say in the Word of God, it says out of the abundance of our hearts, our mouths speak, that the heart is deceitful and wicked. Who can know it? And I will leave those verses below. But basically in the Word it says, and some of these topics could be completely separate videos on their own, but the Word of God tells us that it's difficult for a man to tame his tongue, and that if you can't tame your tongue, right, if you can't tame your mouth, then your whole body is capable of going off course, right? Your body, and if your body's off course, most likely your mind is off course, because everything, all of our battles, all of our spiritual battles begin in the mind. So, if we're looking at the content of our character, and we want to know if we're on track, right? Because we keep wanting to have healthy relationships with healthy people, but we keep pushing them away because something about us is not attracting like-minded fish, so to speak. Something about us is attracting sharks. Something that we're putting into our minds, into our spirit, is sending out these pheromones that are attracting hunters, people who would view us as prey, people who maybe don't have our best interests at heart, and not even knowingly. So we want to take the time to make sure that we're looking at our behavior and our character to make sure that we have Christ-like character, so we can continue to attract healthy friends and a healthy partner and have a healthy relationship with God and ourselves. So, if you're wondering, what does it look like to have healthy character? What does it look like if I have unhealthy character? We're going to talk a little bit about that today. So first, we're going to start off with positive character traits. What are some positive character traits that you should look for in yourself, and that you can look for in your friends and in a potential spouse? Okay, so I have 10 for you. 10 good character traits and then 10 bad character traits. If you look this up online, you can find hundreds and hundreds of good character traits and bad character traits. And we just don't have time for that here on YouTube or Instagram or wherever you happen to be watching this video. So we're just going to name 10. Are you ready? Go. Honesty, responsibility, confidence, optimism, integrity, loyalty, kindness, and compassion. And then lastly, patience, and then dependability. And then for the unattractive character traits, there is arrogance, and I just looked these up on Google. So I did a Google search for 10 of the most common positive character traits, and that was the list that I gave you a second ago. And then I asked ChatGPT for 10 unattractive character traits, and this is what we have: arrogance, dishonesty, selfishness, negativity, laziness, insecurity, entitlement, lack of empathy, rudeness, and gossip. So those are some of the character traits that if you happen to have any of those, they tend to attract other people who are in alignment with that lifestyle, with that way of thinking, that have similar negative character traits. So if you were looking to level up your own character, then start to change the people that you hang out with and the seeds that you plant into your mind. But then we also want to be mindful of what we're pouring out into ourselves, because what we pour into ourselves inevitably ends up coming out in our own behavior, right? In the way that we treat people, in the words that we speak. But the more you're mindful of what you're feeding your spirit, the easier it will be to control your tongue and your words. So you'll start to find yourself as you continue to grow. As we continue to grow, we find ourselves attracting healthier, more like-minded people to us, because we're a healthier version of ourselves. I hope this helps someone today. I love you guys so much. I will try to add some scriptures at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.